seated. That whole first part of our service tends to be active. You might be able to feel your heart beating. We're trying to make sure that we're all awake, because we're about to move into a more contemplative part of our service, and in the center of that is a silent meditation that we'll share together. It's only about 3 or 4 minutes, but I encourage you to get yourself comfortable in your chairs right now so that we can share that silence easily. And the first step into this more contemplative part of our service comes through a reading, and today that is from Lynette Klein. Thank you, Lynette.
Good morning. Daily Word for November 27, 2025. Gratitude. I am grateful for all my blessings. Gratitude is the song my heart sings. Practicing gratitude keeps my awareness on the many blessings in my life and opens me to receive even more. I feel grateful for all of it, from the smallest things like a morning coffee, the sunlight on my face, or a friendly smile, to the most important, including love of family and friends, peace in my heart, and joy in my life. Gratitude is one of the great gifts of spiritual living, a way to keep the goodness of God at the forefront of my mind. No matter the number of good things in my life, I give thanks to God as the source of them all. I am grateful to live, grateful to love, grateful to be a beloved child of God. From Psalm 95:2, let us come into his presence with thanksgiving. Let us make a joyful noise to him with songs of praise.
Does anybody remember the hymnal? Nobody? Okay.
Hymnal?
Okay.
Do you remember the old hymnal?
Old
Wings
hymnal?
of Song hymnal?
All right. I'm Baptist, so we used hymnals all the time when I grew up. We're going to sing something from the hymnal. Just sing along with us. It's great. Only believe. Only believe. All things are possible. Only believe. Only believe. Only Grateful for the things that you have done. Yes, I'm grateful for the victories you won. I could go on and on and on about your works, because I'm grateful, grateful, so grateful just to praise you, Lord, Lord, flowing from my heart are the issues of my heart. It's gratefulness. Say I am grateful for the things
that you have done.
say yes I am grateful for the victories you've won. I could go
On and on and on
and on
about your word.
about your mighty works, because
Because I'm grateful, grateful, so grateful
just to praise you, Lord, flowing from my heart.
flowing from
Oh yes, are the issues my heart is gratefulness. Oh no. Oh, grateful, 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 gratefulness is flowing from my heart. Grateful, 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 gratefulness is flowing, yeah. Say grateful, yes I am. Anybody grateful? It's flowing, grateful. Yes, I am. I'm grateful. It's flowing from my heart, flowing from my heart. Are the issues my heart. One more time say flowing, yeah, flowing from my heart, my heart, it's gratefulness. It's gratefulness. No, grateful.
Tyler Beauchamp.
Well, I'm grateful. So happy Thanksgiving week. I had walked out yesterday, and my front yard is this golden glow from the Japanese maple and all the leaves coming down, and it gives its own kind of radiance that comes off. And so it's giving its last little bits of gifts for the season during this Thanksgiving week. And so this is an opportunity for us to maybe deepen a gratitude practice or start a new one. And so I want to ask, when was the last time you woke up feeling grateful? And imagine, if it's been a while, imagine what it would feel like to wake up grateful. And then if you can stretch your imagination even further, what would it feel like in your body to have an entire day centered in gratitude? It's possible. It might take some work. Now, I'm not saying that we don't also pay attention to our feelings that are present, if we're feeling loss or challenged or sadness. But the thing is, we all have the capacity to hold more than one thing at the same time, right? We can hold and be gentle with ourselves around losses and challenges and sadness and grief, right? Through those different transitions and losses of life. But we can also use gratitude as a way to sort of balance it out, balance the scales, so to speak. Because gratitude is an antidote to hopelessness and despair. And gratitude is a healing balm in the midst of loss and challenges. And we have to be careful, right? Because if we listen to the news, if we're going through our own personal challenges, it's easy to sort of get drawn down with the heaviness of it. Or maybe that's only me. I don't know. But I noticed the last week I was starting to feel cranky and anxious, which people that know me know that that's kind of unusual. I tend to be an optimistic person. Even in the midst of challenges, I usually can rebound pretty quick. But I was feeling cranky and I was feeling anxious. And I always find that those are warning signs, right? Those are the red flags that are saying, hello, come back to your practices. Come back to your practices. And so I kind of deepened into gratitude. And it can be as simple as just pausing in that moment when you're starting to feel that anxiety and that crankiness and the world feels like it's all falling apart, and just centering and saying, I'm grateful for this breath. Breathing in. I'm grateful for this heart that is beating. I'm grateful for the people in my life and my dog Toby, of course. I'm grateful for community, right? It doesn't mean that we bypass the real feelings that we're having around challenges and loss and transitions and change, but we can hold both, right? Gratitude can be that healing balm that we call into the midst of our loss and our challenges. And it requires mindfulness because it is easy to lose ourselves, right? It's natural for us to want to kind of close down our heart or protect it a little bit when we're feeling loss or sadness or challenge. And that's the very time when we actually need to maybe not open fully, but kind of invite that gratitude in ways that can soften it and ease it within our being and awareness. Gratitude is one of those intersections between science and spirituality. Because there's now enough science that says, hey, this thing that religions and spirituality has been saying is a good idea, now they're finding the science that backs it up. They're saying, gratitude and a gratitude practice improves our immune system, right? It lowers anxiety, provides better sleep, all of these things that are beneficial. And I'd say from a spiritual perspective, gratitude, though, is essential. If you look at when Jesus prayed, the prayers, didn't they almost always start with gratitude? Giving thanks in advance, right? It's woven throughout everything. In Psalm 69:30, it says, I will praise the name of God with a song, and I will magnify God with thanksgiving. And what does that mean? With thanksgiving, I will magnify God. It means I will amplify the activity of God, the activity of Spirit in my life and in the world. It means I will amplify those God qualities that are within all of us. I will amplify divine love. I will amplify strength. I will amplify divine wisdom in the midst of whatever challenges we have, in the midst of whatever losses we might be experiencing. And so we have been talking about, our theme this month is transitions, voices of transition and change. And in the writings of William and Susan Bridges, they point out this interesting difference between change and transition, although we use those interchangeably. But they often talk about change is really sort of the outer circumstance or the outer condition, right? It sort of can be marked in time. It's, the last day on that job. It's that day when your loved one crosses over and leaves this earthly walk. It's that day you had that surgery, right? It's usually something tangible. But transition is the internal process that kind of moves alongside the change, right? Because transitions we've been talking about includes, it's usually some sort of ending. It's that really comfortable place, the void and limbo in between that we all love so much. And then there's some new beginning over here. But often, the ending has begun long before the change actually occurs, right? On some level, it may not even be conscious, but energetically, or our soul is kind of moving us in that direction of some change, right? It's nudging us or yanking us, as the case may be. And then often, that void or limbo in the new beginning is sometime way beyond the change. Sometimes it's shorter, but sometimes it can be days or months or years. And it's all the internal processing, the emotions and the thinking, and really a new way of being. Sometimes it's a new identity. It's new values, new belief systems. So that transitional process is always much larger, right, than the change, the external change that might activate that internal transition. And so any transition process, even those that we welcome, usually has a few challenges. Yeah? I find that, even the ones I'm super excited about, and then you get into it and you're kind of like, why? Why? I was excited. No, I'm excited still. I'm still excited. And so, again, gratitude can be a way of kind of easing and softening those transitions when we're in the midst of it. And we've been talking about different types of transitions, and I want to give some space today to our transgender friends and loved ones. Because this past Thursday on November 20th was the Transgender Day of Remembrance. And it's been occurring for 26 years, And it's an opportunity to kind of honor the memory of our transgender friends that have lost their lives due to anti-transgender violence. And so I just want to take a moment and just have us pause and just take a breath, and we send blessings to those who crossed over. And we call into the midst of this, into our prayers, healing and grace as their soul's journey continues. And we call forth understanding and grace and healing in our world for greater understanding and greater acceptance. Amen. And you might just light a candle when you get home and say a blessing and join together with others. And so preceding Transgender Day of Remembrance was Transgender Awareness Week. And so I'm always looking for ways to kind of expand and deepen my own understanding. And so reading stories, and I kind of dove in a little deeper to an organization and a site that's actually started by a Unity minister, Reverend Jackie Fernandez. And she started an organization and a website called Folks with Faith. And it's folks with an X at the end. And it's intended to be a hub for transgender, non-binary individuals and people that are on a spiritual path. And maybe they've been traumatized by religion in the past, and they have a place of belonging. And so they also provide tools for ministries and spiritual communities on how we can go beyond just being welcoming and how we can truly kind of incorporate a sense of belonging, a place that is sacred safety where people can be authentic and show up truly as themselves. And I think one of the gifts, one of many that transgender people provide, is the courage to live authentically as themselves, as an inspiration for all of us to live authentically. And so I've asked one of our longtime members, Mitch, to come up and share from his personal experience. And many have seen Mitch up here singing, maybe know that he's part of the Seattle Men's Chorus, but I just wanted to share a little bit more because I'm guessing there's a few things here that you maybe don't know about Mitch. So he has been an activist and advocate for more than 20 years for transgender, non-binary, LGBTQ communities. And he served on Seattle's LGBTQ Commission and jointly created a policy leading to Seattle's all-gender restrooms. He collaborated with the Seattle Police Department on a model transgender policy and is featured in their required training video. And he has trained thousands of healthcare workers in the area to be more mindful of healthcare for our trans and non-binary friends and loved ones. And he helped usher in gender-affirming care for Washington State Insurance Exchange in 2014 and continues to be an advocate working for Washington State's Transgender Health Coalition. And that's just the abbreviated bio. Wow. And so please join me in welcoming Mitch.
Wow, that sounded really impressive. I don't know who that is. When it comes right down to it, we're more alike than we are different. You know, we've talked a little bit about imposter syndrome, how much that's a part of sometimes our transitions that we're making. And it's that gut-wrenching feeling, that part that makes our stomach kind of clench up. Somebody's going to find out. Your secret will be out. Maybe you're not really who you say you are. Are you doing it right? Can they tell? And everyone's now going to know what you may not want them to know. I was an imposter in my own skin. The little 5-year-old me, captain of the all-boys club in my own backyard, commanding the street standing on my green Schwinn Stingray bike, shirtless, balancing on the thick banana seat, hands outstretched. I'm the king of the world. But in this one moment, walking hand in hand with my mother, I was not commanding anything. I could feel my sweaty little hand walking the interminably long distance across the parking lot to the Golf Mart. Sticky black asphalt reflecting the 100-degree heat. Over and over in my head, should I tell her? What will happen if I do? Is this the right time? Oh my goodness. Well, unable to hold that uncomfortable tension in my little 5-year-old body anymore, I blurt out, Mama, I don't know how to tell you this, but God made a mistake and I'm supposed to be a boy. So once an imposter, with the smell of diesel and very little fresh air circulating and at least 25 people in line ahead of me, I'm sweating up a storm, just like now, likely looking quite suspicious, nervous that I might spill the tea and tell them the very thing that you shouldn't tell a government official who is standing guard to weed out anyone that might be carrying contraband onto the plane. Even though I'm now 45 years older than that little 5-year-old, with more than 5 years of testosterone under my belt, well, literally, I was still snapped back to that same gut-wrenching feeling, afraid they'll find me out. With all my attempts and devices I used to be sure that my time through the airports will be efficient and safe in all the bathrooms. So a lot of anthropological study comes in here. So being a transgender person, I'm always hyper aware of my surroundings, and I've been careful and thorough anthropologically studying all things male. I want to completely pass as male, then I have to draw no attention, look, and act the same. So the bathroom is one of the most interesting habitats of all the male places to be. But thankfully, most men don't care as much about any of the things that I was worried about. But nonetheless, I learned how to use a special device that I can stand up and pee and look exactly like the others do when they go to the bathroom. So, speaking of special stand-to-pee devices in the TSA, I finally got my turn. I put my arms up, and I'm scanned in the big whirling scanner. And I immediately fixate on the bright yellow square over my crotch area, showing up on the Gumby-shaped outline of a person that's on the screen. Now, while I'm frozen and trying to figure out how I'm going to explain that, I notice that the worst part is the screen is actually turned in such a direction that all 45 people in line can see. All of them looking at that same yellow box that now the TSA agent is pointing to and yelling out loud, "Hey, what is this? Why is this here?" Now, I'm nearly 50 years old, and I'm reduced again to that 5-year-old tomboy. But this time, I'm not pretending. I'm not wishing or wanting. I'm a man trying to figure out desperately what is the right thing to say to this guy so that he'll know that I'm the same as he is. Now, I didn't realize the scanner was sensitive enough to pick up something that was skin-like but wasn't skin. But here outlined in the small box, in the huge yellow box, is my stand-to-pee device, carefully packed to produce a natural look and supposedly not to draw any strange questions like I'm getting right now. Oh, hey, I'm happy to answer your question, but not here. Not in front of everyone in line. Can we just step over here and I will answer you? So quickly I'm ticking off in my head, what am I going to say? What am I going to say? I don't want to say I was packing anything in my pants because, bomb, right? So all the words I'm trying to think of are escaping me, It's my, what's that P word? Prophylactic. No, wait, that's the wrong one. It's my prosthetic. Yeah. Surely he would let me go without too much fanfare if I explained it's my prosthetic, because no guy wants to hear about that. So, still subject to the pat down, finally I was let go, and I cinched up my belt, and I put my wallet back in my pocket, slide my shoes back on my feet, and go about finding the gate. Now, I bring up this experience because here we are 15, almost 20 years later, and we are still debating and legislating bathroom behavior. I still have to deal with what's going to be like to enter a restroom. There are already 4 states where I would have to use the women's room when I'm in an official government or university building, or risk being arrested. Realistically, I don't know, wouldn't they still arrest a man in the women's room anyway? So either way, right? So will we all have to carry our birth certificates in order to enter the restroom? Or will we have a chip embedded maybe somewhere that we can scan under our skin? Or will there be jobs open for special genital inspectors? I don't know. We're all owed, obviously, the simple dignity and human right to safely go to the bathroom. And I gotta say, the older I get, the less time I have to hit that seat. So, with these big life changes and each new rite of passage, there are risks, right? There are risks to follow our calling. There may be violence or hatred from the ignorant. There may be the tendency to explain ourselves or justify our existence for our own human rights. But I still wouldn't have it any other way. It's not really bravery. It's just this path. This path is my path. So we were looking at the gifts, right? The outcomes, those final things that we get. For me, there's no choice. It's my calling. It's my purpose. It is who I am. My identity is nothing more than to live the life I came to live authentically in alignment with my source. And most days, I gotta say, I'm rooted and grounded and aligned with source. Living a life authentically means there's no room for that imposter. So I've stepped into these new paradigms, the conceptual shifts in the way that we as society and culturally define gender. What if by living my authentic truth, I have the incredible privilege to influence what it means to be male, to show a different perspective of the idea of masculinity? I believe I am one in a very long line of ancestry that carries the wisdom of the shaman, the spiritual ones that in so many indigenous cultures embody all genders. There's really no other way but to live our truth and our identity, making shifts in our consciousness. For me, it's to experience life as both female and male, fully integrated with spirit, integrated spiritual wholeness and well-being. So it's always about this conundrum, being fully spirit, source, energy in these physical bodies, fully human, and fully divine. We are the I am. We are the God is. We are creation and the creators of our own reality. I believe we're all being called to curiosity, to open our minds to the question of how we can move consciousness forward. We're the leading edge. We are the bodies and vibrating atoms consisting of all the elements, the stardust, the building blocks of our universe. So in that way, my friends, I dare say we are more alike than we are different.
Thank you, Mitch. So, you know, every time we create and expand a sacred space such as this for places that are a place of belonging, a place where people can show up and be their authentic selves, and they feel that welcome, they feel that sense of belonging, we are living our second unity principle, because it says that all people are holy and divine, worthy of care and love and respect. And so this is the embodiment of it when we live in community in this way. And so my invitation to you this week is to try on what it might be like a day of gratitude. So I know it's possible. You might slip, your mind might go elsewhere, but there's an opportunity to come back. And no matter what else is going on in your life right now, allow gratitude to be that healing balm, that antidote to despair and hopelessness, so that we may awaken our hope. And so it is. Blessings. So we come now to that time to give of our tithes and our donations and love offerings. And so if you're here in the room, there's actually a little card with a QR code. If you're online, you can click on the website or text to give. The number is 206-350-8448. And we are so grateful for your generosity that supports this community and supports the music and the message. And so join me in the blessing. I give willingly, joyfully, and lovingly, knowing that God is the constant source of my supply. I give with graciousness and receive with gratitude.
Everybody say,
a wonderful change has come over
me. A wonderful change has come over. Let's do it again. Say, a wonderful change, has come over me. A wonderful change. Change, need a change. Thank you for my change. I wanna change, need a change. Thank you for my change. Said I wanna change, need a change. Thank you for my change. I wanna change, need a change. Thank you for come over. That's the whole song. Can y'all help us sing it? Wonderful change has come over. Is that a wonderful change? Yeah. So I want to change, need a change. Thank you for my change. I want to need a change. Thank you for my change. I want to change, need a change. Thank you, Lord, for mine. I want to change, need a change. Thank you for my change. Oh, oh, yeah, yeah. So we say, change, change. I really want to change. Change, change, change. I really want to change. Change, change. I really want to change. Yeah, say change, change. I really, really want to. One more time, say change, change. I really want to change. One, say change, change. I really want to change. A wonderful change has come over me. Everybody say,
Wonderful change has come over me.
one more time. A
Change has come over me.
You got something beautiful. One more time for me. A one.
Wonderful change
Yeah, yeah.
has come over me.
I wanna change, need a change. Thank you for my change.
Tyler Bochab.
So will our chaplains come stand up here as we do our closing prayers? So first we put a blessing on our offerings. So we dedicate and consecrate these gifts to the will, the work, and the way of the living Spirit of truth. And we are grateful for the generosity of each giver, and may it return to you a millionfold. And so now I invite you to take a deep breath. And I didn't get any, we bless those who are at home. I didn't get the names, but we send out our blessings and our love to you. So I invite you to move to your heart and to take a breath. And so I ask that we hold those that made their transitions this week. And we begin with John Andrew and Carol Wickland. And I invite you just to hold them both in your hearts, whether you know them or not. And we know that life continues, that life never ends. And we bless you as you continue on your journey. And we hold your family in prayer for comfort, for healing, for Marilyn and family. And so we take a breath and we hold in our prayers Scott, seeing that Spirit of God going before him, for Rich and for Jody, for Jeff, for healing. And we see that Spirit of God going before Connie and Robbie. And if there's anyone else who comes to your mind, I invite you to speak that name now. And so we join in our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God over us. I am presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Thank you. Let's sing one last closing song together. I invite you to stand as you are able. If you'd like to hold hands, go ahead and do that. But it's unity. You're allowed to say like, hey, no thanks, don't touch me. You're allowed to do that if you need to do that. I'm gonna hold hands. We're gonna sing Longtime Sun. If you're like a yoga person, you've probably heard this song in your yoga class. If it's a new song for you, don't worry. Just smile and sway. It's fine. May the long time